Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, and we have a Love is Blind update after the failed reunion, the dumpster fire from Sunday night. We've got Paul slamming Vanessa. Well, he's slamming her. I don't know. He's critical of her. Love is Blind star Paul says Vanessa Lachey, had a personal bias in Micah reunion exchange. I'm going to play that video for you guys right now. So much to get to. So he was so disgruntled that he actually got a it's hard to read here, but it's flowers. Thanks for acknowledging the accidental misleading, Vanessa. That doesn't even make sense. Thanks for acknowledging the accidental misleading. But either way, let's play the interview clip that we have here of how it all went down in his instant reaction to the live reunion.
You're alive.
I'm surviving.
Was there a question midway through that we were like, I don't know if I'm going to survive this?
Man, just kept drilling and down on me.
Obviously, the conversation that you and Vanessa and Micah had about whether or not she could be a mom or the mom to your kids came up.
I struggled with, at least in terms of envisioning Micah as a mother. I think for me,
this is one of those things where you want people to share their truth, but it's also brutal where you're like, bro, you got to be careful to tell someone that wouldn't be a good mom as you're dumping them. It's like salt in the wound here. So there was a lot of reasons why people were critical of Vanessa, but I don't know if this was one of them. She had a good point in wanting to question Paul, but also maybe she's just not that good at her job too, you know?
It was difficult for me to do. It's just sort of just a nurturing aspect, I think, that some people have. I don't know, but whenever I tried, I just know that I wasn't able to see it very clearly.
Do you feel like you've done as much clarifying as you can possibly do on that situation?
Yeah, I kind of do. I think I said my piece, and I think Vanessa might have had a little bit of personal bias in that scenario, or at least I kind of detected that. I don't know, but that's just my assumption based on how she continued to drill into it after I gave my full rationale for why I felt the way that I did. And I owned as much as I could of that scenario and took responsibility for the full capacity in which I think that I was obligated to.
Just to compare this to Bachelor with Chris Harrison and now Jesse Palmer, you never hear Chris Harrison or Jesse Palmer making news for their line of questioning. Vanessa Lachey makes a lot of news. And I don't know, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe it's good to be controversial. I'm not sure. You guys leave a comment, let me know. But she's been a lot in the news, and I hate to even reinforce it, but a lot of people did not like her performance. And yet, I'm not hearing many reviews of Nick Lachey's performance. So is it sexism, or is Nick just better at his job, or is Vanessa the one who's trying to get into the cracks?
Then she continually said, well, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you ask this of her? Why didn't you demand this of her? And I just that gets into the philosophical nature of relationships and is that right to demand your person to change in order to fit you? That's a debatable question.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how sweaty were you getting in that moment?
I was sweaty, yeah, no doubt. I had drank 3 cups of coffee, immediately before, during the pause, I was just chugging coffee. So yeah, I was definitely sweating.
Do you feel like you got the closure that you needed from this live reunion? Do you feel like there was still more that you had to say or wanted to say or didn't get the opportunity to say about your journey on the show?
Yeah, I do. I feel like there was a lot of topics that involved me that I wasn't given the opportunity to speak fully on, and that's okay. I think that your character comes through no matter what you say, and your intentions come through, I think. I don't know how, but it's very transparent, I think, on camera, whenever you have good intentions or you don't. And so I don't necessarily feel slighted, but yeah, I do have a lot more to say on a lot of different topics.
What was one of those topics? What's the bullet point of one that you wanted to get across, that was important to you to get across, that you didn't get the chance to?
Sure. So I think that it was extremely reductive in the way that they dismissed all nuance and complexity around why I said no. So they said, it was framed as the reason why he said no was that she wasn't able to fill a mothering role in a nurturing, atmosphere or whatever. That was one piece of the puzzle. It was incredibly complex. There was so much more to that. but that was the answer. That was the reason why. And that's just a fraction of the story, man.
Well, but the truth is, yeah, like he's got a good point, but also you got to be careful because you got someone else, someone else's heart on the line here. So, you could have, I'll put it this way. He could have avoided criticizing how she may be as a mom. I mean, I don't know. Doesn't mothering kick in once you have the kid anyway, or once you get pregnant? Like, I don't know. Maybe she'd be a great mom.
Man,
Now, when Zach says that he felt like Micah was here, maybe not necessarily for the best reasons, to be, maybe to find fame more than a relationship, what was your reaction to that? Is that something that you guys had talked about in that long phone call before the wedding day?
No, that really didn't come up until after. We heard a lot of things I think that were a bit disconcerting from third parties claiming that she had told him those types of things, and so it was rough to hear, and it definitely made me question things, no doubt.
Well, but here's another side of things people don't talk about when you discuss like, oh, who's here for the right reasons, and it's like, what a beleaguered point that we've had to deal with in the Bachelor world. You might have the show itself is inherently kind of stupid. It's a dumb show. It's like, all right, it's like you look kind of stupid. Oh, you're going on to some Netflix reality dating show. Oh yeah, but I just do it for the Instagram followers. But like, so you might just because you say you're in it for the wrong reasons doesn't mean you necessarily are. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm not. I think I'm on the fence. I think Paul's a good guy. I don't question that. But I also think that if there's any attempt to cross-examine him, there should be. You know what I mean? He came off looking pretty bad after that breakup. Which, by the way, I didn't even realize when I was making this thumbnail. See how I've got the broken hearts right there? I didn't realize he was wearing a shirt also with broken hearts. Oh boy, you know what I mean? He's got great taste. So I made this video yesterday. What a mess. Netflix stock falls $3 billion. I was sort of kidding, because the stock price did fall after Sunday night's epic failure. But no one really believes it's because the live stream didn't do well, right? No one believes that. It's just a product of the stock market. But I made fun of that just because that's how clickbaity news headlines are. And then, of course, what do I see yesterday? Netflix stock drops 1.75% and $2 billion is wiped off value after Love is Blind reunion live stream. Those are independent things. Whether Love is Blind had a failed or successful live stream, the Netflix stock was going to drop 1.75%, just like Bud Light stock dropped a few percentage points regarding the issue that Bud Light is having where it can't decide what side of history it wants to be on. The streaming giant stock fell after technical streaming issues on Sunday. Complete hogwash, but then again, it's Daily Mail. What do you expect? Look at all the pop-up ads on Daily Mail. It's an absolute circus on over there. Netflix suffered a blow to its stock price following a technical issue, with left fans waiting hours for a highly anticipated reunion. And as people say, the reunion itself was pretty much a dud, right? It was a dud. I wonder how many people didn't watch that were like, you know what? I got the Spark Notes. I got the gist of it. I don't need to go sit through that. Either way, I've got one more piece of content coming your way after this. Make sure to subscribe. We have a late-breaking apology from one of the villains of the season. That's coming next. We'll be back right after this.